Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited you're here. Today we are doing my winter Hygge morning routine, and I'm so excited. It starts with an alarm clock at 6:21 in the morning, which is actually 6:10 because I set my clock fast, and it goes off. It looks like the sun, which works really well for my brain. By the time it hits the time it actually goes off, it starts to sound like birds, which is lovely. And I just put my slippers on and head into the other room. We leave a lot of low lights on in the winter, and it's maybe my favorite thing ever, just looking at our home with all the low lights on when I get up. I just think it's really pretty. The very first thing I do is light 2 candles, one in the hallway and one in the living room. I've kind of built out a little winter candle routine. I light certain ones in the morning, certain ones when I'm writing, certain ones in the evening while dinner's cooking, and certain ones in the evening when dinner's over. Listen, I'm trying to keep the serotonin alive for the winter so that I don't get the sads, and this is my strategy. Then I get into my morning yoga practice. This is something that changes every day, but I do it every day. So typically the rule is I just get on my mat. Sometimes I just meditate. Most of the time, if it's a day where I don't have a workout planned later, I'll do a full routine. But this day I had workout planned for later in the afternoon, and so I just did a low to the ground, full body stretch, and it just is my favorite way to wake up. All right, the other thing I added in for the serotonin were fairy lights. After Christmas, we took down all of our lights, and then I was like, things are missing. So I added a bunch of fairy lights, I added a ton of candles, and I'm just enjoying the vibe, you know? For my birthday this year, I asked for a coffee pot, just a standard coffee pot. And it's amazing because we can set it to when we wake up. This is not new technology, but it's new to us, and it's so fun. And I set it for 6:30 in the morning. So then by the time I'm done with yoga, it's in the midst of brewing, and I can go ahead and get ready and pour myself a nice cup of coffee. And I kind of just keep the coffee flowing. I brew 8 cups for Obes and I, which is about 3 8-ounce cups for us, which is a nice amount. And yeah, I just keep it going throughout the morning. And I sit down after this to do some journaling. I like to light a little candle. It feels ceremonial. It feels like we're opening a space. We're creating kind of a special space. So this candle is kind of my journal candle. And I get these just at the local magic shop down the street, and they have all these little ritual candles. In the morning, I tend to do journal prompts, and then I'll do 3 pages of free write. And the free writing, I'll just kind of let my mind wander. And I've always done this, but right now Obie and I are reading The Artist's Way, and in it she recommends morning pages. And so we're taking it very seriously right now because it's kind of part of the thing. I also tend to pull a card in the morning. I use it usually as an additional journaling prompt, just like a place to start when it comes to my free write practice. So I'll usually say, I pulled this card, this is what it brought up for me, and then I just go from there and let my mind wander. It's my favorite part of the morning. It's the only non-negotiable. I also do read a little bit of Thich Nhat Hanh. This is kind of like a little daily reading book that he has. But the journaling is non-negotiable for me because it clears my head, it gets things off my mind, and it makes me ready to be creative first thing in the morning. By this time, it's usually 7:15, 7:30, and the sun has risen, so I go through and I just open all of our blinds to make sure the plants get plenty of light, or as much light as they can get throughout the day. And I pour myself some more coffee. This little mug I got off of Amazon. I'm kind of letting myself have seasonal mugs right now. I'm using this one and one that a friend of mine gave me that are both just really cozy feeling. And one of our little Hygge changes that we did in the winter was we moved this chair over by the window in the bookshelf. It used to be on the other side of the living room, but we moved it over here because one of the big Hygge things is having a reading nook, and we didn't really have a reading nook. So just by moving that chair over there, it kind of made a little reading nook, and it feels so cozy. And I typically will read first thing in the morning, or, at this stage of the morning practice. Right now I'm reading Fragile Things by Neil Gaiman. This, I also read seasonally. So my winter season, my theme of books are short stories and memoirs. So this is a book of his short stories, and it is so, so good. So after I've done that, after I've gotten my reading done, it's time for me to make some breakfast. If you don't know, I just got off of a month of sabbatical, and one of the greatest things that came out of that month for me was the time I had to make my meals. I felt so luxurious to have plenty of time to cook nutritious, yummy meals at home for every single meal. And I think breakfast is so funny because it really doesn't take that long to make a good nutritious breakfast. And so I'm hoping that this is just kind of a continuation. Instead of me just kind of making some toast or some oatmeal, which those are fine, I can make myself some eggs or a smoothie bowl or, something a little more exciting. And this morning I'm just making a little egg scramble with spinach and tomato and onion and garlic. And my friend Eric showed me to put sriracha in your eggs before you scramble them, and it is so delicious. It's like a great seasoning for your eggs. And I'm just serving this up with some orange slices. I'm obsessed with Cara oranges, and yeah, I'm just enjoying that this morning. Typically when I eat breakfast, I watch a YouTube video. So I put on a YouTube video and just enjoying my egg scramble, my coffee, and my oranges, and living my best life. After breakfast, I just started knitting. This is definitely another part of the Hygge energy we're trying to bring in this season, and just kind of working with natural elements. And this is my first ever scarf. There's a lot of mistakes, but this is kind of how far I've gotten so far. I've only been knitting for a couple of days at this point. I got it for my birthday, but I'm pretty into it. It's been really nice. And Obi got me this little carrying bag that's so convenient. And after that, I just try to get some fresh air. This has been a new winter thing. It feels kind of like a cold plunge or something. Just stepping outside in the cold, breathing fresh air in the morning. Enjoying the nice air. And that kind of wakes me up for the next phase, which is the tidy up the house phase. This is particularly important for me if I'm working from home, or if I'm, even when I was on sabbatical, just being home, just getting the house in order. I'm just putting our coffee that we didn't drink this morning into a mason jar and putting it in the fridge, and I'll drink it as iced coffee later. Y'all, we do not have to make iced coffee so complicated. It can be that simple to make a good iced coffee. So I just clean up, do the dishes, straighten up the house, wipe down the counters. And again, this is so important for me because I need the house to be clean in order to be a person at my house without feeling like there's so much that needs to get done. And so if I can just make sure the dishes and the counter are clean in the kitchen and it's generally tidy first thing, then I can relax. And I used to kind of resent this, and now I actually see it as a gift I give to myself. This is a time that you spend doing something that you don't want to do necessarily, but it's going to give you a better day in the long run. I'll spare you the visuals on this, but I'm just going to do my mouth care routine. So I'm using toothpaste and tongue scraper, mouthwash tablets, and floss. And then my skincare routine is mostly Good Molecules in the morning. I'm using their toner, their niacinamide toner. I don't wash my face in the morning because right now I'm doing skin cycling, so it's like pretty intense on my skin, and I'm trying to do less. So I do water and then hyaluronic acid. This helps the hyaluronic acid to not dry my skin out. It can either moisturize or dry out, and that's kind of the difference for me. And then I'm using their priming moisturizer, and I swear this makes my skin look so good. I think it has a blurring effect or something. I don't know. And then the Laneige sleep mask, which is everything. And the last little bit of tidying that I do is just making our bed. I gave myself months off of feeling the pressure to make my bed every morning because it became this thing I felt like I had to do. But I found that over sabbatical, it just really relaxed me to have a made bed, to be able to like walk by our room, see our bed made. It just felt luxurious, and it felt like I was treating myself to something nice. And that's the energy I want to operate out of. So that is where we're going. Once it starts to feel like a chore I resent again, I'll take a break again. But right now it feels like such a treat. And from here, I just get ready for the day and then go fix my hair. I don't tend to wear makeup, only if I'm like filming something or taking photographs of myself. So I'm just fixing my hair this morning. And then I go in to work. So I have a little bitty work startup routine that I tend to do. Normally it involves hot tea. I don't do that right now because I've been drinking coffee on repeat at this point, so I'm tapped out. But then I take my bullet journal and I just pull the tasks from the week that I like planned out, and then I type them up into my Notion dashboard where I have my to-do list there. So that's the to-do list I'm going to reference throughout the day, and I just kind of go ahead and pre-plan out my day. This is so helpful because it gets me mentally prepared for what I have going on. I plan out the tasks well in advance, but this kind of just reorients me into like, what's the day going to be like? I also at this point set up a Pomodoro work with me video and work in these like 25-minute sprints and put my headphones on and just go to town, and now I'm ready to work. Thanks for joining me.